Welcome back to another episode of Uptown Alley Fashion. Today we come at a different angle. We're going to talk about my man, Deion Primetime Sanders, and his impact on the culture of fashion on and off the field. Deion did not only stand out on the field, but off the field. He was prolific, electrifying, one of the fastest athletes we ever seen on the collegiate level. And off the field, Deion, jury curl, sunglasses, tailored suits, sweatsuits, chains.
It's probably a 3-4 hour process because you have to put the relaxer on it, then it stings, it burns if you don't take it off in time. First of all, they got to curl it. Okay. And I had the gray rollers the pink in the front, gray in the back, because I wanted that hang. When I turned my head, I wanted it to snap around.
Deion Sanders was a trailblazer for freedom of expression through fashion.
Neck full of gold, curl, looked wet, but it was dry.
Just look at this one picture, y'all. He ain't got no shirt on. He got a million chains on, a leather jacket, sunglasses always. That's his signature back then. Look at the rings, look at the bracelets, hovering over the old school Atlanta Falcons helmet. This was Deion Sanders in a nutshell.
Bringing that to the table and not being apologetic for it, I don't think it had been seen yet.
Deion showed everybody how to express themselves unapologetically. Did I say that right? After a historic college career at the University of Florida State, Deion Sanders was... Hold on, y'all. I gotta get right for this one. Hold on.
Atlanta Falcons first round choice.
With the 5th pick in the draft.
Deion Sanders, cornerback, Florida State.
Primetime's coming to Atlanta, huh? Looks like you're wearing your signing bonus here.
Go check me out. Look, do I look like him?
I was kind of scared. I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would have asked for so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
Look at him, y'all. Everybody for a draft day, what they have on, a suit, a tailored suit, even to this day. Deion got on a sweatsuit with chains.
What pick y'all got? They said, I think we have the 10th. I said, man, I'll be gone by then. And I just walked right out.
The significance of Deion was not just what he was wearing, it was also what he was doing on the field, on both fields.
So what's it going to be, Deion? Football or baseball?
Both, boss.
Both?
Both.
Deion played in the MLB, Major League Baseball, and the NFL. In fact, in 1989, his rookie season with the Atlanta Falcons, Deion hit a home run and scored a touchdown in the same week. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's probably something that would never be done again.
I had just got to Atlanta on a Thursday from a baseball game. Okay. This Sunday.
Deion Sanders told us yesterday that for every touchdown he gets on a punt return, he will give the blocking people 3 choices: a Gucci watch, a bunch of money, or a gold chain.
We talk about his fashion off the field. This is where Deion Sanders becomes Deion Sanders for real. His fashion on the field.
You remember the headband that I used to wear around the neck? It wasn't intended to be worn around the neck.
It was to stop the...
It was... No. I used to wear it on the head like y'all do in the NBA because the curl juice will get in my eye. I'm not lying. And then when I put the helmet on, it messed around and slipped down to the neck. And it just became fashionable. So I looked and said, you know what? Let me just roll with this.
Deion had the wristbands on the elbows. He had the face mask at Dickinson. Like only us athletes know what the Dickinson is. You had to be real. You had to be a dog to wear those back in the day. Deion had the socks. He wore socks high. He always had the high socks. He had some sweet shoes on. So before he got a shoe deal, he had some sweet shoes on all the time. He was faster than everybody. He let you know he was faster than you. He would high step on his way to the end zone. He's the only player in history you had to worry about him on 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down.
Wrong thing to do. Don't put me on Monday night.
That's crazy because he had to punt him the ball. He was a punt returner. He's one of the greatest punt returners of all time, along with one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. Deion Sanders is my favorite player of all time. You're not gonna tell me he ain't top 5 all time, but that's another argument. Deion stood out so much that he immediately gained the attention from the hip hop community. MC Hammer was one of the biggest rappers in the game back then. I know y'all laugh about it now, whatever, but at that time, MC Hammer was one of the biggest rappers in the game. He had his own record label and all that. MC Hammer was on the sideline for the Atlanta Falcons NFC Championship game, which they lost to my Washington, then Redskins, now Commanders. They lost the NFC Championship game Hammer was on the sideline because of Deion. Deion had that type of influence on the culture.
Hip-hop culture was starting to turn everything around, and Deion was at the forefront of that, being the first person you ever seen talk about money like Floyd. And when he took his helmet off, he had a bandana wrapped around his head. It just felt like a rapper. It felt like hip-hop.
By the 1993 season, Deion Sanders got a shoe deal with Nike. And remember, Nike was just coming up off the Michael Jordan wave. So you know what they did? They came up to the NFL and I guess MLB and seen what Deion Sanders was doing and said, we want him. Deion Sanders then inked his first Diamond Turf shoe with the straps and the mesh, the gold mesh on the side, the Nike sign on the strap, the tongue, got the diamond, which represents baseball, and the gold post represents football, showing both the sports he played. Deion was literally like a superhero at this time. In that upcoming offseason in 1994, Deion was a free agent. He decided to sign with the San Francisco 49ers. Now his former teammate and one of his closest friends, Andre Rison, did not like this move, mainly because they was a rival and he never discussed it with him. They was in the same division at that time. So they met up in a game and when the first lineup against each other, they started throwing blows.
And somebody asked me, why did we get thrown out of the game? You know how many people bought tickets to see me play that day?
In that same game, I don't know what the quarterback for the Falcons was thinking, but he decided to try Deion. It didn't go his way. Deion picked that jump, took it to the house. He started high-stepping at like the 40-yard line. It was embarrassing. This same season was like Deion Sanders' most iconic season. That season went crazy for him. He had like 13 picks, I believe. He won the Super Bowl. He had a rap album come out under MC Hammer's record label. Came out, it's called Primetime.
Side to side, then you come inside. We love this ride. From a street like soldier, I told you, yo, so get party.
If you remember, he had a video called Must Be the Money that you can show. Must be the money. It's turning me on. Must be the money. Deion was wild as shit. In 1994, the Diamond Turf 2s came out. These shoes retroed in 2012 and went crazy. I had a pair. A couple fellas I know had a pair. We was waiting for them to come out because we had a famous local rapper, Wale, used to wear them, and nobody know how he got them, of course. But we wanted them to come out, and Nike granted us their wish, and they retroed them and brought them out for us. Deion was just trend-setting on so many different ways. He was so much of a icon, man. These shoes was almost like a pair of Jordans. I idolized the 1994 Deion Sanders with the San Francisco 49ers. I wanted to be just like that guy. He only had one season there, though, y'all, and he went crazy. But in the offseason, he did the unthinkable and signed with the Dallas Cowboys. In 1994, Deion Sanders won the Super Bowl with the 49ers, and the very next year, to sign with the Cowboys, won the Super Bowl with the Cowboys.
So when you guys say, is he worth it or that's too much money, it could have been greater. But I truly wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Deion won Defensive Player of the Year. Like a lot of DB, he's like the only DB to do that, I believe.
I said, man, jump that thing. Yeah. So I said, come here, man. Let me show you how to do this. And I went out there. They didn't know I was on the field, back on the field. And I went out there and jumped it.
He wins his second ring with the Cowboys. Two-time All-Pro, two-time Pro Bowler with the Cowboys.
Offense or defense?
Both.
He gets to the Cowboys and plays receiver also. Played receiver in the Super Bowl with the Cowboys that they won. He caught a pass. And you can go on YouTube and look at his endless highlights he got with the Cowboys. Punt returns, pick sixes. He got a couple against my Redskins. It's crazy. Deion had like, what, four or 5 years with Cowboys. And then, guess what happens? My dream comes true. I didn't know no better at the time because I was a child. He comes to the Washington Redskins. Now, when we look back at it, it was a disaster. Because guess what? Dan Snyder bought the Redskins. He just started blowing money fast. Like he was BMFing. Like he was hanging with Big Meech and them. Like he bought Bruce Smith and he bought Deion. Deion was like, shit, I was about to retire, but since you gonna pay me this much money, I'll come BS with y'all for a year and then retire. And that's exactly what happened. I'm not mad at Deion for that. I'd have got the money too. But that's what happened. He retired after he played with the Skins.
Name for the combine? Name? Leon Sandcastle.
After Deion retired the first time, he came back a couple years later with the Baltimore Ravens.
I prepare to conquer, and I prepare to win it all. That's one of the reasons I'm here.
And he wore the number 37, which was his age at the time. He wore it like a trophy to let him know, hey, I can still run with y'all young boys. After Deion's illustrious career, he became a sportscaster. He was working with CBS, NFL Network, different other channels and networks always wanted a piece of Deion. His personality was vibrant like that. They wanted to hear his tape. They wanted to hear what he was saying. And they also wanted to see what he was wearing. He always had custom suits. He always had a suit that stood out. Some of them was a little bit too edgy for me, but that's what Deion do. Deion Sanders, his career as a player, broadcaster, got him to the point where he landed a coaching job at the HBCU at Jackson State. He actually encouraged other former NFL players and college players to come to Jackson State to be a part of that program. Deion Sanders had celebrities. He had Troy Aikman at one of his first games. When the last time Troy Aikman been to a HBCU? You tell me. He had guys like Young Dog.
Gang, gang, gang. When folks come and get you, you gon' tell on the whole gang. She said, can she fuck me with my diamond chain? If I ain't never think, then I'm gonna play.
Key Glock, 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne.
I'm looking at my phone and I'm saying, Gilly strike the ball? Are you kidding? What? When did that happen?
Gilly and Wallow.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against Jackson State, bench.
He would always have some type of celebrity or known rapper out there just getting involved with the culture, turning Jackson State up.
This is what we dreamt of. This is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I love the equality. We got Southern, we got JSU,
Yeah,
we got the Southern fans, we got JSU. I love it. This is a big day. Thank you all.
Yeah, man.
Thank you all for bringing it here, man. This is all right.
People gave Deion last couple of years, well, this last year I will say, gave him a little slack for taking the Colorado job.
When he got started, it made it sound like he was doing it not really just for him, but for something larger. And then when the money came, he went and took the money.
He gave you the blueprint and showed you what you could be, what you could become.
So people had their different opinions about it, but think about it. Deion went to Jackson State to build that program up. They wasn't funding him or giving him money to help him with the facilities. He had to cut his own grass. He put money into the facilities out of his pocket. Jackson State wasn't giving him the money to do that. He did it. So if he putting all this money into this program, he doing all this, he getting these kids the notoriety and visibility they deserve, and then Colorado comes over here like, hey Deion, we got $5 million for you. What you gonna do? Come on, man. I understand what y'all saying. Stick with the HBCUs, but the HBCUs gotta stick with us. Now that Deion's the head coach of Colorado State, everybody's interested and eager to see how he get these boys out there, how they gonna be looking, how the swag gonna be.
Just a fucking locker room?
Both his sons, Shador and Shiloh, had on the Diamond Turf 96s. Signed by their dad themselves, Deion Sanders. Like I said, we anxious to see what these boys look like coming this fall. And we talk about how Deion was in the 90s and how he was out of his career. Deion was just on GQ. His style ain't stopped yet. He got a fur coat on with like some paisley corduroys and sunglasses, of course. You know he gotta have his lokes on. Deion still is trend-setting, and I feel like he's gonna always do this as long as he's here.
They don't respect their elders once they get, on top, man. I don't understand that.
Let's give this man his flowers. I know he get his flowers a lot, but we don't give him his flowers as far as in the fashion game, in the urban fashion game, what he did for the sport of football. After Deion Sanders was on the field, it brought out the likes of guys like Charles Woodson, Asante Samuel, Champ Bailey.
And Deion hauls him in at the 13-yard line, and then Deion gives the ball in reverse to Champ Bailey.
All these guys started looking like Deion with the wristbands on their elbows at playing the cornerback position. I don't want y'all to think Deion's influence stays at football. It doesn't. Because once Deion did what he did, came into the league trailblazing how he was, with his own style, it influenced guys like Dennis Rodman to express themselves, Allen Iverson, and so on and so on. He also got musical influences with references from Lil Wayne, Wale, and no other than Hov himself, and countless others. If you ask me, Deion's the original 21 Savage. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I actually live by this. This is Deion Sanders' most famous quote. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. I don't know what's going on right now, but y'all already know what it is. We already know what we need to go do. Slack time. Subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the notification bell. Hashtag UPTAF. Let's get it. What up, what up, what up? Uptown Alley Fashion Hot Drop of the Week. I want to give a special shout out to Miss Jonte Fisher, aka IG at Bubbles Galore Me. You can catch Miss Bubbles Galore Me at Arundel Mills Mall, where she has a kiosk where she sells skin products, soap, lotion, everything for the ladies and some stuff for the men. Make sure y'all go follow her at Bubbles Galore Me. Info is in the description.